Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early July 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for Scorpio gang out there. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Shuffle it up one time and see what Spirit has for us this week as we move throughout the year. My God, Spirit team, talk to me about the Scorpios. What do you got for us? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. Let's rock. No delay. What's up with the Scorpio collective, please? Guides and Spirit team. Okay, yeah, and I was getting this with the other water signs. Once again, a very common type of energy to see on the top of a reading for water signs. We have this sleepy person in their PJs. What's going on here? You need a little rest, my friends. You need a snooze, but we'll talk about that. There's a lot of little sub energies within that card. Before we really start picking that apart though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button and tap it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Scorpio always hooks me up. Let's get it going. You see this person, they're in that sleep cap, they're in their pajamas, they're surrounded by all sorts of nonsensical things. There's clouds, there's literal dream catchers here. So we could literally just be talking about the realm of sleep. When I see cards that connect to sleep or dreamland, it is Spirit being literal sometimes, like saying, hey, you need some rest, you need a break. Some of you could be signifying like nightmares or having issues in the night, but generally to me, this card is one of rest. Now, we could look at the other archetypes that are known to connect to sleep. Subtle energies could be affecting a lot of Scorpios. The unseen, whether it's places you're in, other people around you, their energies could be affecting your empathy. So in this time, you might want to lock your energy down and keep it safe when this card shows up. We could also think of imagination, being very creative and imaginative. You know, those watery depths that Scorpios are known for. It shows up in full force with this card, but just make sure you're getting rest, my friends. Let's get into tarot. I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. And yeah, I'm going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. Shuffle it up here one time for the Scorpio collective, please. My guides, we had an interesting reading last week. Let's get this deck prepared and we'll talk about it. Last week's reading, my friends, it was titled A Serious Ending, and a vibe I was picking up in the reading was that a lot of Scorpios might have been getting fed up with something, or some aspect of your life you were just ready to move past or wanting to put a close to. Doesn't mean you actually did it, doesn't mean it actually happened, but I was seeing that show up heavily in the energy. We had 10 of Swords action happening, but if there's any sign that could deal with 10 of Swords energy, it's us Scorpios, right? So let's get it moving and see what we have this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. Let's get 3. Let's see what we got this week for Scorpio, please. Yeah, it was a little heavy last week, and that's okay. All right, we might be on a little bit of a bounce back. We got the Ace of Pentacles in position number 1. Beautiful golden opportunity card. I love, love, love the Ace of Pentacles. I love starting every reading with an ace because it does talk about new cycles, just how we had like an ending last week. Now we have a beginning. Okay, we do have the King of Swords. Makes sense because there was a level of seriousness in last week's reading and it is still showing up here. This is a big plan-based type of energy as well, strategic. Let's get one more out here. See what we got for Scorpio, please. Please and thank you. Thank you. 8 of Pentacles, lots of money. Money, money, money. Like, you guys might have a lot of money coming in for you. And hard working too. Like Scorpio, we got a lot happening here, my friends. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff and really pull more detail out of all of it. But if you kindly look in the box, at first look, first glance, of course, I'm going to notice that we have 2 cards of the Pentacles. Mind on the money, money on the mind. A lot of the material world could be on your radar for whatever reason. Now, when I see cards of Pentacles, that to me is more of the outer world, whereas Swords are the inner world. That's how I break it up. To me, in tarot, Swords and Cups are the inner world. Wands and Pentacles are the outer. So like there's a lot of stuff that you might be focusing your energy on outside of yourself. in this time, or Spirit might be asking you to do that, get into the realm of action. But let's go through one by one. Lots of earth here. Position number 1, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Like I said, all aces are the beginning of their suit. They represent a new cycle, a new opportunity, something good kicking in. This is my card of golden opportunities. So we could see wins and victories coming in, things offered up to you on a silver platter. This is a very magnetic type of energy as well. What's the one thing though with all opportunities? If you don't seize them, they can shrivel up. So this is like limited time only type of energy, but it's all good. We're going to get more detail out of it. Sometimes this card, if we're looking at the inverse, the reverse version of the Ace of Pentacles, it could be someone that is way too money focused. And we could say the same thing with the 8 on the back end, like someone who is like way too focused on money and the material. So in this time, maybe Spirit's trying to bring your thought to that. Or a person. Like if that sounds like a person, like super materialistic or a workaholic type of energy, maybe some of you just feel like you're work, all work, no play, because I'm kind of getting that vibe a little bit too. But in position number 2, let's just keep pushing. I'm not going to turn a positive card into a negative one. We have the King of Swords in the center. This could represent any air sign, doesn't matter, male or female. So we're talking Libra, we're talking Gemini, and Aquarius. The King of Swords, as with all kings, represents control of their respective suit. We'll fix you later, 8 of Pentacles. I knocked him right off his bearings. We'll fix you later. The King of Swords represents control of the mind, but also of communication. So you might be trying to get your mind right. You might be trying to control a narrative or control a conversation. I do get that with all the Sword Court cards. They are talkers of some sort. But a big thing with this King of Swords is, yes, he is determined, but this is also a card that is stern, serious, honest, straightforward, but it's a planner. So this might represent somebody that has a plan in place or is making one. Maybe some of you have a plan. Maybe it's someone you're connected to. We'll just have to see what's up. Now, moving to the back, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Let's get the King tucked in right over here by this Pentacle. Get that King going. All right, 8 of Pentacles. To me, this is one of the bigger cards of work. This card and the 3 of Pentacles are literally like earning money, what you do for money. This card is also very creative, artisanal. This is someone becoming a master of something, a master of their craft, putting in the hard work, very, very, very diligent. Okay, this is like extreme work ethic. So obviously it's one of my favorite cards. Like it's a trait that I personally try to embody. The 8 of Pentacles, once again though, does have challenges. In the reverse, sometimes it could represent somebody who's a bit lazy. Sometimes the 8 of Pentacles in reverse talks about giving up on things prematurely. The 8 of Pentacles reverse challenge mode can also be someone that is too focused on the material or is a workaholic. So we'll just have to see. Tons of earthy energy, which doesn't have to be a bad thing, but I really want to dig more detail out of this because it feels like we have a lot of stuff going on, Scorpio. Let's dive deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify. All right, so let's get a good shuffle here and reset this deck. Let's see what's going on for the Scorpios, please, my guides. What do we got? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ace of Pentacles here. And yes, if you're a reader as well, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Ace of Pentacles time. Let's get to it. Why is this Ace of Pentacles here? And remember, this doesn't just have to be work and money. This could be little nuances of personal relationships too. When we see Pentacles, it's outer though, it's action. Good, wow. Okay, this feels very rewarding for some reason. We have the 5 of Wands in reverse. This feels extremely rewarding, and it also feels magnetic. Once again, I know I mentioned the word magnetic right in the very beginning, so of course a lot of you could be having something huge coming in, some sort of big win or come up. I was seeing that in another water sign as well, that this feels like massive gains of some sort, or somebody or something coming towards you magnetically. Like here it comes, here they come. The 5 of Wands in reverse. Remember, another one of my cards of the outer. I said it earlier in the reading. When I think of the outer world, I think of Wands, I think of Pentacles. So in reverse, generally this is a card of like conflict, people beefing it out, right? In reverse, it's something that comes smooth, comes easy. So for a lot of Scorpios, there could be something served up on a silver platter, but it also felt rewarding. There might be something really good coming in that when it finally hits, when it finally comes in, you might be like, I've been waiting for this. Thank you. Lots of gratitude. Like you've been waiting for it. It feels really good. And there's a lot of magnetic energy. Like it's coming to you quick and it's coming to you like unencumbered and nothing in its way. So there could be someone or something moving towards you very quickly. And I really, really like this energy. We're going to keep pressing forward. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. Okay, we'll talk about it more during the recap. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down now, Scorpio. Let's see what's up with that King of Swords. Let's see what that King of Swords is about, please. Thank you. Oh, we have the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard in reverse. Okay. You might be trying to like disconnect your feelings from something in this time or see something more logically. That's a huge thing we could be picking up here because remember, kings all represent control of their respective suit. King of Cups could represent you, so you might be bumping heads with an air sign, so watch out for that. Like you and air signs in this time might be oil and water. But remember, I'm getting back to what I said earlier in the reading, the external, the internal. So there might be some sort of change of heart within you happening where like you change your mind. You're like, you know what? I'm going to look at this logically. I'm going to use my brain. I'm not going to use just my feelings on this one. Or it could be vice versa. Like if you've been detaching yourself recently emotionally from something, like you might switch it up in some sort of way. I'm getting that emotional shift, that emotional change of heart. Like that's just what I'm picking up. But yeah, watch out for the conflicts as well. But there's this heart, mind, heart, mind, heart, mind. There's this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth going. So whether it is you disconnecting your feelings from something or it's you going with your feelings, that's really up to you. But we're going to move in towards the Eight of Pentacles. Like I said, for some of you, your mind might not be on anything romantic or emotional or anything in that realm. You might be all about the Pentacles, all about what's coming to you. All right. But there is something you might be trying to disconnect from. That's a big vibe. We're going to move in on that Eight of Pentacles. And then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. Interesting read, my friends. So why is this Eight of Pentacles here for Scorpio, please? Gods. All right, yeah, the deck is trying to jump out of my hands right now. So let's see what's up with this Eight of Pentacles. Quick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you might decide to like not change something after all. Like, so this is the oddest type of energy. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Some of you might be having issues with a fire sign, especially in the workplace. Now we're getting a lot of people. Some of you might be trying to ignore outside influences in this time as well. Like I was picking that up in the Pisces reading where there might be people and you're just like, you know, just let me stay in my lane. Like, don't be in my business. Let me mind my own business. So a lot of you could be in that realm where you're just staying in your own lane. Like you don't want anyone's drama. You don't want anyone's BS. You just want to do what you got to do. Okay. That's just the big vibe I'm picking up here. Now, I did also say with this Knight of Wands in reverse, this does talk about stopping something or not letting something progress. Under this Eight of Pentacles, you might be deciding to just continue on with something where you might have been wanting to give up on it. You might decide, you know what, I'm just going to let this ride for now. I'm going to continue this for now and see how it goes. Okay, so those are the main two messages here. Like you might see how something goes and like just go with the flow, or you might just be not wanting anybody in your business and just staying in your lane. Like no drama, no BS. Like that's a big vibe I'm picking up. Let's go through and do a quick little recap here, Scorpio. Lots of things happening, lots of court cards, lots of pentacles, lots of the outside world. Before we get to the shadow card though, position number one, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Five of Wands in reverse. To me, this felt extremely magnetic. It did feel rewarding that when something finally comes in, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, finally, that feels good. That's a relief. It's rewarding. But it also felt like lots of energies coming towards you magnetically, either something or someone, whether it's money, whether it's people. This magnetic energy that I was feeling a couple months ago for Scorpio was showing up once again, like unencumbered, not blocked. In the center, we have the King of Swords with the King of Cups without a beard in reverse. How sad. But when we see this, I do feel like if you're not having issues with an air sign, you might be going through like that heart-mind tug of war, or you could be having a change of heart or trying to change your approach and how you see something. Like, listen, I'm not going to go with my gut instinct, or I'm not going to go with how I feel. I'm going to look at this logically and make a choice. For some of you, that could be it, but it is that shifting feelings, like back and forth, back and forth. However, when we get to the back end, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands in reverse. Some of you might decide to just let something keep going or let it ride how it is. Like, listen, I'm going to assess the situation. We'll see how it goes. But another thing I did warn against, especially with all the core cards, it's like not let other people get in your business. Like you might be extra averse to that. Like you don't want to be in no one's business. You don't want nobody in yours. It's like, let me just stay in my lane, go over there with all that. So do with that what you will, Scorpio. Interesting. We're going to get you a shadow card here though. Yeah, 3 core cards. We got air, we got water, we got fire. So we have earth with the pentacles. We have almost the whole damn zodiac out here. So let's get you one shadow card. Let's see what's in the shadows. And I always like to end off every reading with this. I feel like it's nice and introspective, whether it's something within yourself or something you don't quite see. So let's see what's in the shadows for my Scorpios, please. My gods. What do we got for Scorpio? And now the deck is being specific. And I'm using the Shadowland Tarot. I use this every week for the shadow cards, and I always think it's nice. Okay. Hey, we have the Scorpio card showing up in the shadows, right? Like this is a card that kind of does well in the shadows. It's way different than having the sun. Now, this is extra different since it is a Scorpio reading. First off, obviously, don't be nervous. I mean, I'm talking to Scorpios who's going to be nervous about the death card. But when this card does show up specifically in the shadow, Spirit might be asking you to look at something in regards to how you view yourself. Are you being kind to yourself? Because that is Scorpio's card. Are you being kind to yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Or there might be something attached to self-confidence and self-worth that Spirit is highlighting here. Now, death does talk about that never-ending cycle of transformation and remaking oneself. So some of you might be headlong into some sort of cycle where a rebirth is coming up and you might need to prepare for it. But to me, there is something that Spirit is trying to really alert you to about your self-worth. Like, be kind to yourself, treat yourself well. Okay, that's a big thing. Self-care is super important in the shadows this week, Scorpio. So my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the June subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air signs readings. But for July, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. Once again, one of my favorite decks and one of the first ones I ever gave away on this channel. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot suits, which one has your favorite art style? Is it the swords, wands, pentacles, cups, even the major arcana? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of July, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.